How's it going, ESGN Nation, and welcome to the NFL Draft here in Madden 23, the Buffalo Bills franchise. And we're finally here. We're here for the first draft after the first season. Of course, we had a very great, successful season. Now, I will tell you this video is going to be pretty lengthy. It's about an hour and a half long because I want to make sure you guys can understand my thought process of it. Now, I do have a draft preview on here as well, and also a draft kind of breakdown. Actually, the whole draft, you actually see the whole draft. It's edited down to a point, but it's about 2 hours long. So if you can stand that and don't want to hear my voice, that's fine. You can watch that. But we got some draft previews as well. That one's about an hour or so long. Just my thought process of the draft and what we like to try to do here in this first year draft. And of course, I want to focus on a lot of defense, but also too, there's also some great offensive players that I want to work with and try to get. So as you take a look here, of course, the Texans took the first pick here, Desmond Rassam, outside linebacker there from Auburn. Giants are on the clock as well, or excuse me, the Lions are on the clock as well. And Lions looks like they got some pretty good draft picks here coming up. They pick up a nice one here, Joey Bradley. Left in from Tennessee. That's a great pick there. But we're also going to, in this video too, we're going to showcase obviously some of the players from our Highland Scotty series that I've been really excited about putting especially this first year draft as well. Terry Wolf, a player that was not part of the Highland Scotty series, but he went to Kansas apparently. This is of course a random player that was generated there. Because this draft consists both of random players, just your random generated players that you get in the series, in your Madden franchise, but also add us in the Highland Scotty series players. So that was one of them. Now this is a pick that I was really hoping that we were able to get, but unfortunately did not get him, and that's LaMichael Diggs. He was projected to be in the top 5. We're outside the top 5 because we have the next pick here coming up. Or I should say the 6th round pick there. But there you see a pick number 4. They get him. And then of course the Falcons take Donovan Marquardt. If you guys watch the Highland Scotty series for the first 2 or 3 years in that series there, Donovan was very great, awesome linebacker there for us, and I'm really glad to see him. He's definitely going to be a difference maker there for the Falcons in that series as well. Not necessarily, I really didn't think he was going to be in the top 10. I knew he was going to be at least in the top 20, but they must have seen something in him that they really truly believed in. So here we are now for our first pick of this one, and we're going to try this. Of course, obviously we got some different ways we can go for this. Obviously we want an offensive lineman. That's one of our main purposes here for this, either an offensive lineman or a linebacker, because I want to make sure the linebacking core stays healthy, and I want some fresh, some new blood in there to help us out. But I was also looking at the defensive line here. Nate Mann, he has some really great numbers there. You take a look here. If you watch the draft preview, and like I said, there's a link down below. It's unlisted video, but it is a part of this series. And you guys can definitely check it out. But Nate Mann, it looks like he has some pretty good, solid numbers there. And he just looks like a really good defensive tackle that I would like to go after here. But like I said, I want to focus on Lisa's first pick on the offensive side of things. And like I said, Michael Diggs was a pick that I really was hoping that we can go after as well. Really hoping that he's going to be able to drop. He was actually predicted to go first round, 3rd pick. But then I figured, like, well, they had him projected there for a while there in the top 5. Now, Donatello Callaway is a player that we should be going after here. I like his numbers there. But at the same time, I was kind of conflicted with either, ideally I was thinking of like, okay, offensive line, we'll go with that. But then, like I said, we want a good linebacking core, especially the middle linebacker position after losing Edmonds because of free agency. So this first pick was tough. It was really tough to decide which direction I was going to go, because depending on what direction we go, this is going to be a pick that we're going to have to work with for the next 4 years. So as you see, take a look here. We look at a middle linebacker as well, and then Tyreek Fleming there. He has some really good numbers there, and he by far, in my opinion, at least to the scouting here, we only scouted 50% of them, but by far he looked like the best of the linebackers that were out there. And of course, there's some other players as well. Grady Little, wide receiver. He was actually projected for us there in that position. At 6, but we're not looking for wide receivers here. For right now, I'm pretty comfortable with our wide receiver core that we have. I think next season we may look into getting a wide receiver, but really true. Every time I do these drafts, as you take a look here, we're looking at Will Morgan. I always think, okay, like we have to focus on what we actually need, not what we want, because there's a lot of players we would want on this board. I would love to have them on our team, but we have to worry about what we need first. What is our main concern here, part of this organization? And that's, like I said, our defensive core, linebacking core, our secondaries. I mean, if you think of anything, we really need a free safety out there because we don't have really a good free safety. But we decided to go with the middle linebacker there, Fleming. Oh, wow, hitting rating there. So nice job there. And there you see he's a field general, 6'3", 230 pounds, from Clemson. So he has a great future. I think I really feel comfortable with this pick with him. And like I said, my buddies were actually telling me afterwards where he was landed at and where he could be when it comes to hitting dev. Some of these players afterwards, I know, like they told me what their hitting dev is. And I kind of know, I actually know this one. Actually, at Fleming's, I don't know. They didn't tell me this one. But we went ahead and we're going to show you guys some more. So Nate Mann, obviously, was going to be taking there. Miami. Miami is another team that's got some, pretty much, had some pretty good draft picks here. They can make some big moves as well. Like I said in the free agency episode, in the last video there, the Bears made some big changes in their road of going to trying to do something with their squad. Our boy Alex Flanagan, as you see there, of course he did not go to Emporia State, but that's how we're going to represent our players here in this franchise, is that they went to Emporia State, because in real life I did go to Emporia State. But Alex Flanagan, their quarterback there for the Colts, nice. I like that personally, especially as a Colts fan. Damon Adams is another player for our Holland Scotty series. Great corner. He was a great man-to-man corner. He knew how to bat down balls, and the Giants got something right there. I think that's going to be very, very nice for them. Dean Harris, not a player from the Holland Scotty series, but he is from Fresno State. He's a right end. And then, of course, we'll see Tim Johnson, Oklahoma, another right end. Now, this first draft, I think I said in a couple other videos already here posted, and of course in the 2 videos that are unlisted here in this series, like I said, there's a link down below in the description. You guys can click on that. I do mention many times that, my buddies gave me some hints on some players, or let me know who was what, just kind of help me out there, not give me too many hints about players or positions of where players are at, or what they're actually doing per se. But for the most part here, like, hey, you might want to, there's a good chance you might want to draft, go up in the order, or draft down. And like I said, I kind of took that into consideration. And one of my buddies like, hey, you might want to go try to see if you can get this pick from the Ravens. So I look at the trade packages here with the Ravens. There you see, we got with the Bears actually. There you see they want that, and of course the other one is draft picks for next year. Because I was really thinking about possibly moving up, because I seen that Donatello Callaway Callaway was not taken. So I was really considering maybe jumping up into the order and just kind of seeing, okay, well, we could do a future pick for next season, and just kind of put all our chips on the table and just get a really good offensive player, and then move on to a really good You know, we have a really good defensive player to start off, and then now we can go after this really great offensive player. And I was thinking about it, and then in the end I was like, nah, we'll go ahead and we will not worry about it. So Ashley Ryan, another corner for the Highland Scotties, from the Highland Scotties series there, he will get picked up by the Ravens. So the Ravens working on that defense there, and they got a great defensive player there. He was very talented young man in that Highland Scotties series as well, and that's one of the key reasons why we got to where we were at, going to the national championship that first year. And then you see some more draft picks here. Steelers got a pick. Denzel Carlson. There you see from wide receiver from Oklahoma, picked by the Patriots. We'll keep going down the line here. And, I was just kind of showing you guys some of the first round picks. We'll eventually, when we get deeper into the next couple of rounds here, we'll kind of skip some and just show some picks there from the Highland Scotties series. But Marco Vincent, free safety, like I said, wasn't really looking for a free safety, but when I see him get picked up, I'm like, oh wow, we should have gone after him, because he has some pretty good, decent numbers there. But like I said, free agency is not our problem, because we got so many corners right now that I just need to try to get them to play in other positions, and we got a lot of guys there. I mean, we got a log jam of corners that we can spread out into other positions there in the free safety and strong safety positions. Getting a true natural free safety, that can be next season that we can possibly be looking at for ourselves. Floyd Merritt, defensive tackle for Penn State, going to the Titans. Blanco, another player from the Highland Scotties series as well. Gerard Blanco. Miami again, making some great picks here. I think Miami and the Bears, and I think even the Lions, are going to be teams that, well, one, they have quite a bit of money, with them. But they're going to be teams I think they're going to have a bright future for themselves. And they've made some pretty good picks so far, especially Miami. Grabbing us a couple picks here. Now, of course, one of the players I was really looking forward to is Wendell K. Son. We'll see where he is going to be land at. Trent Epstein, another player I mentioned in that preview video. You guys can check it out. The link is down below. He had some talented attributes for him as a tight end. Good tall guy, a true definition of a tight end, and had some really good abilities there. And was actually considering going after him if he was still going to stay around there in the bottom half, or going into the late first round, early second round pick. Miles Monroe, here you see Kansas City just beefing up that offensive line there, left tackle for Penn State. He will be playing there for them, and if I remember correctly, I think we do play Kansas City in the first game of the season. So that's going to be, we're going to have to test his ability there. Isaiah Scarborough, he was part of the Highland Scotties series. I do remember him. He was a great Florida State player, was just doing damage to a lot of, he had some pretty good numbers there his last season with the Seminoles, and I decided to put him in the game as well. So he is definitely a character that we put in the game. My buddies and I from the Highland Scotties series, but yeah, he is there, picked by the Eagles. Now, Seattle is on the clock. Of course, Seattle got that Terry Wolf young man from Kansas who put up some really, apparently he's got some pretty good attributes there. And we'll see some of those here pretty soon here, because I tell you, he's a great pickup there for them. A really good quarterback to kind of build a foundation on. Reggie Hillhouse is going to be their corner from Cal. So the Seahawks pick up a great corner. They're picking him up as Dalton Schultz will, of course, now going from Florida down to South SoCal. He'll go down to Los Angeles and he'll be playing as a Charger. He's a a left guard there. He will actually, not a Charger. He's going to go to the Panthers there. So nice job. Oh, and yeah, there's the pick. The guy I was wanting. Like I said, I was trying to see if we can get up from that 32 pick and try to go after Donatello there, but unfortunately the Chargers pick him up, and we actually play the Chargers as well in this upcoming season here. So we'll definitely we'll have to see how well we can play against him. The right tackle from Florida. Fortunately, I was really hoping, because he kept dropping. He was projected at one point there. He was supposed to be in the top 20, and yeah, that was the 18th pick. So that he jumped up 2 spots from where he was actually projected at. Antonio McDonald there, left in from UCLA, gets picked in the next one, and then at number. Actually, no, this is number 30. Excuse me. That was actually 28. So actually, no, he dropped down. Yeah, actually, he dropped down 8 spots there. My bad. I'm looking at the wrong notes here. He actually dropped down 20 or 8 spots there from projected to be at number 20. DeAndre Stallsworth from Vanderbilt, tight end there from the Bengals. Good pickup there. That video that I mentioned, the preview there, he's gonna be a very impressive tight end there for them. And then of course there you see Terrence Blair. By far, he wasn't our number 1 wide receiver for the Highland Scotties. He was definitely number 2, and especially that last year, he just was putting up some great numbers there for us. And he should be doing some great things there down there in Dallas. He'll be a Cowboy now, and the wide receiver from Highland is going to be playing for them. So congratulations to him. And we'll get to our 31st pick here in just a moment, as we'll see where the Lions are going to pick up here. And of course, we're still looking at possible players here. We haven't seen Wendell Cason yet get picked up, but there you see Eric Dunlap, a corner from North Carolina. He is going to get picked up there. So it looks like Wendell Cason is probably going to drop now into the 2nd round. We're not looking for a halfback at all. I pretty feel comfortable with the halfbacks that we do have. So now we're going to try to focus now more so on the offensive line here. So as you take a look here, Will Morgan, I like his numbers there. He looks like he had a better combine, or actually no, he looked like he had a better pro day than a combine. So that's a good possibility for us to do something there. To possibly get him in there. Another player here that we're also looking at as well is Tom Denmark. He has some pretty good numbers there. His pro day does not was kind of his pro day and combine, they were kind of almost similar to one another in some ways. He had more bench reps in the combine there. But as you take a look at some of his core attributes there, I really liked what I seen there, and I figured we have an early 2nd round, so we could go ahead and maybe I was kind of thinking maybe we should just kind of still focus on the defensive side of things. So we do look at the defense here, and there's a defensive tackles that we're actually looking at. Deshaun Robinson is one of them. Of course, he's from our Highland Scotties series, and I would love to have him on there because this kid was such a great interior tackler that just could do, could just put fear into a lot of quarterbacks and of course running backs running his way. So we're looking at his numbers there and look at some of his key attributes here. And it looks like he's did a pretty good job there. His combine numbers look really superb. He's got a lot of top 20 type attributes there. Both combine and pro day, but it seemed like his combine was just a lot more better, and I was really impressed with that. And of course, we have him scout at 75%, so we know a lot of bit about him. And of course, my buddies, I told them to try to get as close as you could of creating him the way how he was in the Highland Scotty series. And I think for the most part here, just by looking at some of his, what I could see and what we have unlocked so far, looks pretty similar. It's not going to be totally accurate to what what he was from the high end, because we did, if you're a 9, I think we decided like 99 overall, we're gonna knock off 20 points, so then you would be a 79 overall, at least in here in Madden. But we're looking at some other players as well, and this was it's always difficult because you want to go make the right picks here, and like I said, I really was trying to focus on what we need, and what we need right now is just really beef up our defense and get our defense stronger, because we lost more defensive players than we did offensive players. So we go ahead and draft Deshaun, and there you see him. Oh, beautiful hidden dev, nice job. He has to be, I would imagine, he is a star dev, because the kid was just an animal. He won several awards as well. We based that as well on here. That's what this series, I'll talk more about that in future drafts, but we're going to base a lot of the awards. A lot of these players have won some multiple awards, or won just an award of one season, or whatever the case may be, weekly awards as well. And if they just really showed off what they can do on the field, then we're considering them a star dev, and of course, obviously, if they did multiple awards like that, and then obviously superstar dev. Oh, there you see Window K Son. He got picked up. Nice job. The Lions pick him up. Nice play. So that's definitely going to be very nice. I told my buddies, like, when we were doing this, I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, I hope I don't put the curse on him being the next Sanders there or whatnot. Before that, you guys seen there, that was a pick that the Browns picked up, and that was Grady Little. So Grady Little is going to be in Cleveland. But Wendell K. Son, he's going to be a great pick. He's kind of the same stature and built like Barry Sanders, but he doesn't necessarily have the speed or the agility like him. But he definitely can get out of the backfield pretty good. And not to mention, he's got great hands. He can catch very, very well for being a halfback, and that's what I was trying to implement more so in this game as well, to have halfbacks that can actually catch and help out in the passing game as well. But he's a kind of a power runner for the most part there, but he can also catch somewhat. A lot more better than a lot of these players here in Madden can right now. But Dean Alford from Texas Tech is another pick there. As we're here, we're in the second round now here. We're about to get to our sixth pick here in the second. We have the sixth pick in the second round. So we are going to be on the clock here in just a bit. But there you see the Cardinals make a nice pick here. Now remember, these are the Chicago picks that we're using in the sixth spot. And there you see Nick McKillen, tight end. He has some pretty good numbers as well. There was actually several tight ends in this draft class here. Some that we made, others we did not. Some of them, for the most part, here we did not make him. This was one that was already generated as well. But he looked like he had some pretty good numbers there. So if you're looking for a tight end here, there's several good selections of tight ends that you can pick up in this draft. So this is the second round, sixth pick. I started thinking, like, with the tight ends, I see that kind of coming off the board here pretty quickly here. We're taking a look at the first and second round guys. Dalton Shaw, I didn't want to worry about that. I figured that after a while, I started thinking, like, we have a good shot at getting some decent right tackles that are going to be in the fifth, fourth round, that have just better what we're looking for when it comes to run blocking and pass blocking, mainly run blocking. So I started thinking, I was like, we'll just go ahead and wait, hold off on the offensive side of things, or at least the offensive line of things. Denmark, I seen he was still on there, but he was more of a mid to late second round guy. So we started looking at Calvin Parker, a tight end. Obviously we have Hunter Cannon on this draft class, but he was more of a third round guy, late second, early third round. So I didn't want to go reach too far, even though Hunter Cannon was on there, and by far I'm I'm biased. I don't care. Hunter Cannon, I know. I know for sure. I had my buddies make him as close as we possibly could. And if he's on the board there in that third round, late second round, early third round, I'm definitely gonna go pick him up. I'm not gonna hesitate at all. But there you see Calvin Parker. There you see his numbers there. So we're kind of looking at him. You know, he's right where we're at right now, late first round. And that's, or really we're kind of the early second round, in the top half of the second round there. So we're just kind of looking around here. We don't really need a halfback. Like I said, we're not going to get a whole lot after halfbacks. Tyler Polson, again, I was kind of looking at him there for a bit. Decided not to, like, okay, no, we're not worried about, we got corners that we got, that we can play those safety positions there. But we went back to Calvin Parker again, looked at his numbers, and I started thinking, I'm like, I can't really pass this guy up at all, because he's got something about him. Something in my gut was just telling me, like, okay, just pick him up, and we can have him be a starter for us. And look there, hidden dev, nice job, great acceleration, great agility. Change of direction is not bad at all. Jumping and speed, and of course his strength needs some work on, but he looks pretty much just a legit. 6'6", 257 from NC State. Nice pick there for us, and I cannot wait to get him on the field and see what he can do with that big body frame of his in that tight end position, because me, I love throwing to my tight ends there, especially in the red zone, and getting them involved as well. So Will Morgan will go ahead and get picked up there by the Texans. So unfortunately, we can't pick him up. And then Leo McBath. My buddies are telling me, this is one of the big hints they were giving me, and they finally revealed him and his what he can do. And I could not believe it. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, and of course, there were some things I seen with him that kind of I was really impressed with, but there was also some things that kind of steered me away. I believe he has great pursuit and great tackle, but when it comes to shucking off, blocks and all that kind of stuff, it was just not. He was kind of just there, but not there, kind of a player. So there would be some work on and then I find out too he does have a hidden dev. Now, of course, I don't know what the hidden dev is. They wouldn't tell me that much, but of course, this was all after. We got down. They kind of after every round they were kind of telling me which were some of the players because they were tracking down the players that were already drafted, and telling me these are the ones that had hidden dev and what their big traits were, so like that. So yeah, but Ismail Page, great wide receiver there. He had the final year that he was with us there at Highland, had a great season. He's definitely a great route runner, and he can also great at the short and middle game. Deep passing a little troublesome, but yeah, he has definitely got great. I believe catching traffic as well. Barrow, another player there from the High Scotty series. He got picked up by the Eagles. Nice their job. Blair, I talked about him. And I do say this. I mean this by my with my soul. This kid, he was a great backup. He could come in here and definitely whatever, if you needed him, if you're he's one of those backs that is just, he can come off the bench and just work, like do some work and get stuff done. And I cannot wait to see what he can do with the Bengals there. As Joe, that's gonna be a good 1-2 punch with that crew there. Joe Mixon and him, a great 1-2 punch in that backfield. Trey Fuller, a corner there from Virginia. He's going to get picked there by the Rams. So nice pick there from them. And now we're going to go to our next pick here. Now this is our normal second round pick here, the 32nd pick. And of course, we're kind of looking at Kenny Curtis there. I kind of mentioned that in the draft preview. He was a player that we could definitely probably change over from left, or from the right guard position to the left, or excuse me, from the right guard position to the right tackle just by moving him just slightly into the interior of the offensive line and see what he can do there. He had a great time there. He's put up some great numbers there. I think he won several awards, lineman awards when he was at Highland, and he was highly decorated there when we were at independent there. The years that he was there for 3 years. So this kid knows how to play some football there. Very intelligent kid. I remember, if I remember correctly, his awareness on the field was just by far just really great. And of course, he was one of those key cornerstones for us on that offensive line when we won our first national championship in season 2 there. So took a look at his numbers there, and of course, lead blocking. We got there are some areas we had to dock him in. Couldn't make him too great. We had to make him somewhat draftable, somewhat believable. But then you see Tom Denmark, and of course, I just could not stop thinking about him, and of course, what his abilities are as well. We only have him 50% scouted, so we still don't know. We don't know too much about him. But looking at his combine and his pro day there, I feel like this was probably looking at it after all this and just kind of weighing things out for the most part here. I think this was probably a decent pick. It wasn't probably the best pick, but he is definitely a player that I would love to kind of mold and get a hold of and just kind of mold him the way we need him to be when it comes to the offensive lineman player. So I decided to go ahead and I think here pretty soon we're gonna go ahead and say yes. We're gonna go ahead and draft him in this pick. So for round 2, the 32nd pick here for us, it will be Tom Denmark from Pittsburgh. He will be the pick. I'm trying to take a look here. Oh yeah, this is where I was kind of looking at Hunter Cannon, but I figured I'm like, we can get Cannon in the 3rd, which is just a few picks away. We can get him early on in the 3rd round. Use that 70 pick on him because I knew I had a pick there for another pick there from Chicago early on, and right now we're at this 64th pick, so it's only a few picks away. I don't think we'll kind of risk it if we can. We already got a decent tight end as is. Hunter Cannon, if we do draft him, he would probably be in a position of a fullback because we did have him play fullback several times there actually in the Highland Scotty series towards the end of his career there. So we go ahead and pick up Tom Denmark there. Like I said, the 32nd pick there in the 2nd round, and that of course that will end the 2nd round here in this draft. So not bad at all. Nice hidden dev there. I would imagine. I don't know what. That's the thing. I think he would probably be somewhere in the mid 60s with his overall there. I want to say maybe 63, maybe 64. 65 would be asking a lot, quite a bit there, but I think I would imagine 63 will probably be where he would be at with him. And of course, he is a computer generated player. He is not a player that was part of the Highland Scotty series whatsoever. But I felt comfortable with him and drafted him. Kenny Curtis. Well, there you see the next pick. Kenny Curtis. They were, the Texans were thinking, the same way as I was. Not at least not in the sense of him moving him to tackle or anything like that, but picking him. And that's exactly what they do. They went ahead and picked him up. So nice pick there for them. They're going to have a good job there with the guys they've had, especially Wendell Cason in the backfield there, and then him on the line. And like I said, he's good at run blocking, you guys. He was a great run blocker, and that's why when we were creating him, I was like, guys, we got to make him a legitimate, not the best run blocker, but one of the best run blockers. Offensive lineman there in this league coming in. Edmonds from Louisville, corner there. He is picked by the Falcons. Then like I said, 3rd round pick. or third round, 70th pick here. This is the 6th pick in the third round, and I decided, like, okay, well, we got that Chicago one. Let's go ahead and use it on, we can use it on Hunter Cannon here. So as you take a look here, I'm kind of browsing here, seeing who's left, see who can kind of, catch my eye at the last minute, see if there's make any changes here. And honestly, deep down inside, I'm like, okay, we have to pick up Hunter Cannon. He has to be a guy that we have to pick up. I already said that, if he's on the board here, we can go after him. But then I started thinking, I was like, we could add some more depth into our outside linebacker. And it looked like Connor Reiser. He is a young man, has some pretty good talent. He's 95% scouted for us. Because, linebackers, that's what we're looking for this year. So there you see second, third round projected. That's right where we're at here. And, we could, pick him up and kind of add some more depth to our linebacker. But then I start looking at Kramer here as well. And again, like I said, just trying to see if we can add some depth here, because I feel like with the picks that we already had already, the first 4 picks, we got some early picks on. We had, 2 picks in the first round, 2 picks in the second round. And here we are with, one of our first of 2 picks here in the third round. Kind of looking at more, the defensively side, maybe just to add some more depth. There you see Aiden Johnson, another player. But they have him more of a late 3rd, early 4th round. I was kind of wanting to see what his numbers were again. And like I said, I was, this draft, I kind of wish I was doing this draft live with you guys, because I could have helped guys a lot of good help from feedback from you guys on making these decisions, because I do get kind of sidetracked from time to time. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this guy would probably be a good pick here, because I can add some more depth into this. But then I started thinking, like, no, go back. You need, this is what you need. If this is, I try to stick to my list of the players that would, this player happens to come up in this round or this pick, go after him. Go, don't hesitate. Just go there and pick him up, and then and then maybe, if we get lucky, we can, no one goes after him, we can pick him up sometime, or maybe even take a pick and trade him, trade up, or trade a future pick to try to get him. So I have that tendency where I do kind of veer off and have two, because like I said, I've already got too many corners as is, and I'm trying to figure out a way how to deal with that. So, but there you see Hunter Cannon. Like I said, acceleration is poor, but he has speed. He has, that speed of a tight end. He doesn't need to be like zipping down the field, but he can catch in traffic. I think, I don't see it on here, but his spectacular catch, yeah, there you see, spectacular catch B through D. And we went ahead and drafted him, and there you see, wow, Hunter Cannon, love him. Acceleration, agility, great. Change of direction, jumping. Speed, like I said, speed is nice. I mean, it's good. Tight end speed. That's by far that's probably pretty elite for tight end speed, if I'm not mistaken, here in Madden. But there you see some of his core skills and some more of their attributes there. And I feel comfortable with this one. This was nice, and I think our guys did a great job there of, kind of recapturing what he looks like. At the same time, adding, taking away some of his known traits that he had in the Highland Scotty series there, and kind of dock him some points there. So that was a nice pick there for us. We'll go ahead and move on here, and we'll get to some other picks here. Dontrell Whitlock was a player that I think I talked about in our special. Right outside linebacker from Texas A&M. He'll now be a Texan there. So a nice pick there for him, or for them, in that one there. Kid's very physical, got some good presence there on the field. Aiden Johnson, another great presence and field player. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was in a High Skies series. Right outside linebacker for Florida. He won several awards there his senior year, and had a great year there with the Gators, and now finally going pro. Tolbert, another great player here. Now, if we were legitimately going for a free safety one, I don't think we would have gotten them, but we could have actually could have got him early. But I think he was considered a mid to late third round type of player, if I remember correctly from the scouting. But yeah, Tampa Bay, they got a good pick right there. Great free safety. And oh, there's my boy right there. I love it. Sheldon Sherman gets picked up. He is going to be playing against the Broncos. I remember, if you guys watched the special that we have here on the channel, it's down below in the description. Just click on it. Definitely check it out. You guys get some of my thoughts and stuff like that about players and stuff. Sheldon Sherman is one of those players that I'm not looking forward to seeing here in the NFL. At some point, we're going to have to play him. If I'm not mistaken, I think we play the Broncos this year in Mile High. If I remember correctly from when I finish this up, I'll show you guys the schedule here for us. He is going to be a beast, but I feel more bad for the players there in like Mahomes and Mahomes. Can't think of the other receiver or quarterbacks out there, but I feel really bad for them. They're gonna have a tough time. They're gonna have a tough time because he is a monster on the line. I told my guys, like, when you create, Sheldon Sherman, he has to be a pass rusher. He has to be almost, in a lot of ways, kind of like a Von Miller. I mean, just a monster, a beast, and just relentless, and just trying his best and fighting to get to that quarterback and making a big play in the backfield there. So, I believe we play them. I think we play them later on this season, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, I'll show you guys the schedule for that coming up towards the end of this video. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to not looking for that at all. Wow. All right, so we got our next pick here. This is the third round, very last pick, 32nd pick, and we're looking at Tom O'Neill. There you see his numbers, and he's a pass rusher. And this is like I said, I was looking for more pass rushers here to kind of help us out, because last season we did not do a great job at blitzing the quarterback when it comes to outside linebackers. Of course, outside linebackers, they got a tough job. They got to be able to cover the field, but at the same time, in situations when we need them to come in there and kind of just help with the line and just kind of overload the offensive line and come at in different directions to the QB. We need players like that, and I feel like if we work with Tom O'Neill here, he definitely will not be a starter this year. But we'll work on train him up, get him ready in this first season. I think, really and truly, he might be a player that we could really kind of hang our hat on. He's got good tackling, zone coverage, not the best, but like I say, we're not worried too bad about that, because I kind of want him and a couple others to be players that can just make a play on the attacking the offensive line and attacking the wide or the QB, and just make some plays and make them think otherwise. So then, of course, we're looking at, obviously I was kind of looking at just see if there was a couple of free safeties and obviously safeties that we're kind of looking at, and see if anything dropped. Of course, quarterbacks, again, not looking for a quarterback, just now going through each one of these. There's a couple free fullbacks there. They're pretty decent, had some pretty decent numbers, but they're kind of undrafted free agents there. So we'll take a look at those once the draft's over with there, if they have not been picked up. But as we take a look here, like I said, we're kind of going through here, and I started thinking after all this, probably the position will with that, we'll probably need to go. I started thinking more so of, because there were some other offensive linemen, like I said, that are late in the 5th round, 6th round. Your day 3 guys. A lot of those, which we could pick up, in the 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds there. So I started thinking like, okay, maybe we should go back to the outside linebacker position. Go pick up Tom O'Neill, see what he can do. Like I said, I like his numbers there. They're pretty legit. It looked like he had a better pro day, I think. And for the most part, he just looked like we got him pretty much scouted for the most part here for our benefit here. And I think he's pretty solid. I think it's a pretty good pick here for us. Unfortunately, he's a normal dev, which is fine. Well, I think he's a upper 60s player, if I remember correctly. The guys are telling me. Looking at my notes, near 70. At least that's what they told me here. They're looking at my notes now. But yeah, he's definitely a player that we could probably. He's definitely going to see a player that's going to be a project player. We can, help us out. We'll put him in training and just try to help him get that extra XP and see what he can do. Maybe in year 2 or years 2, 3, maybe he'll be more of a staple for us. But right now he's just kind of depth. Tim Hines there, you see he got picked up there. Nice pick there for Seattle. We'll go to our next pick here. I believe this is we're now to the 4th round. I believe, this is the 4th round. So here we are, 4th round, and there you see Emmett Jackson, the tight end from Wyoming. And we're looking at our 4th round pick. Now this is the Washington pick, and so we got some chance here. This is actually the pick that we picked up from Washington when we traded Micah Hyde. And I started thinking, I was like, maybe we should go after a free safety or safety position of some sort here. And then I started thinking like, nah, maybe not. Maybe we'll just kind of hold off because again, we got so many freaking corners that just got some great speed there. We'll just convert them to free safeties and kind of try to mold them in the way we best can. Because I think that might be our Achilles heel there for the most part here. Is the free safety position, which I'm not too worried about. I think it'll take some time for those guys to get used to that position and get, because I don't see too many teams throwing down the field and trying to for the most part here trying to make big plays on us. But I could easily be wrong. So we'll see how things go. But Paul Reed there, you see his name, late 3rd, early 4th round guy. Kind of looking at him, and then we're kind of just dancing around here, looking at there's a couple decent guards I thought maybe possibly, or centers there I should say, that could be a possible pick for us. But for the most part here, like I said, I just want to kind of focus on more of the defensive side of things, and again, just trying to work on the secondary or the our linebackers. Defensive tackles here, Moreland, we have him 50%. He's got some decent stuff. I seen him with his numbers there. Kind of look at him before we did the draft and whatnot. But then it's like, nah, not really. We're just right now defensive tackle. I feel like we're solid now. We got a good player there with Rashawn Robinson. Of course, we already got Ed Oliver. Hopefully, we can re-sign him in the this upcoming off season. Hopefully, he's not asking too much during this. Especially when we start negotiations. Hopefully, he's not asking too much. Maybe we can work with him on that. Because then we'll definitely have a solid defensive tackle there, and it's all defensive line will only get better. So it's like let's just kind of go with a linebacker again. Let's again beef up that linebacking core because we're kind of thin in some areas because we got to move guys around as is. So Taylor Jennings, player from USC. We're looking at his numbers there. And For the most part here, looks pretty good. Cone looks better on the Pro Day than it did on Combine. And then, of course, looking at his bench reps is pretty much the same from both the Combine and the Pro Day. And there you see just some other things. You know, we're not worried about catching, but pursuit I was kind of concerned about. And the zone coverage, you know, something we can easily work on that. And then we started going back to the offensive line. I started thinking like, okay, maybe we should go on the offensive side of things. So there you see a late 3rd round, early 4th round. He's 75% scouted. It's Sean Childress, a guy I think we talked about in our preview, and I kind of like him as well. He looks like he's got a pretty good future. He may have to be again one of those those project players that we have to kind of work on and just see what you know, for the most part, what we can do. But then I started thinking, it's like, well, maybe we can go ahead and trade this pick since we can't really find anything here. And so we started looking around at different teams here for picks and for draft capital for maybe next year, or maybe even for I really didn't want to find nothing this year because I knew once we got to the 6th round, you know, there's a pretty good chance that it probably wouldn't nobody be there, and especially in the positions that, you know, I'm hoping that there's like I said, there's 2 right tackles that were kind of I felt more comfortable with. If we couldn't get the ones that we had scouted, you know, that we've seen already picked up, if they were going to get picked up before we could get there to them, then I knew there were some guys that we could pick up, you know, that would be someone decent we can work with, and sign them after the draft, or maybe draft them and kind of make a they can make some decent money, being a, you know, a late 5th or late 6th, or, you know, late 5th, early 6th round pick type of player. So we just kind of going through here. You see Green Bay. This one is kind of interesting there. 3rd round, the pick 93 with Green Bay. So we go ahead and we accept, and we go ahead and give them that pick. So now Green Bay is going to be on the clock. So we don't do nothing with this pick here in the 4th round. We'll actually just use because there was nobody that I feel like that was. I didn't want to drop down too far down and pick somebody that was not with us, and I just kind of want to just wait and just see what we can do with our natural pick at 32 here in this 4th round. John, there you see there from Emporia State, right tackle there. I would love to pick him up, but again, not his numbers there were not somebody I was really hoping for. But he is a 4th round pick. We'll have to see if we missed him or not. Julian Hayes, middle line outside backer from Ohio. And of course, here is our pick here coming up at the 32. And you know, after looking at some of the players that kind of already been drafted by here, I feel like we made a good pick there with Green Bay. So we're kind of looking around here. So we got a lot of day 3. We're obviously in day 3, and there's some pretty good players here that are kind of some hidden gems here. And the reason why I will tell you now, the reason why I kind of did that, because my buddies were telling me like, hey, there's some really good hidden gems within the day 3 guys that some of them they created, but also some of them that was just computer generated. And of course, you know, they can only allow to give me hints. I had to try to figure it out myself. So I was kind of going around here looking at certain things here, and of course they wouldn't tell me until after, once the draft was fully done with and we're done. They told me who the hidden gem, the ones were. So you know, I started thinking, I was like, you know, Moreland's still there. No one's picked him up either. But the outside line, there's a left outside linebacker. He's 95% completed. He's from Maine, and it's Francisco there, the 3rd player down below. I looked at his numbers there. We'll see here in just a bit. We'll hopefully we'll go into it here. But I just really feel like he was something really unique and special about him. So I went ahead and took a look at his. He's a speed rusher, so definitely can go in there and go after the quarterback and make some good plays here. He's probably keen on blitzing. And there you see some of the top fits there for him: Saints, Bengals, and the Browns. But he was 95% scouted, and we'll see some of his physicals here in just a bit. But just something about him, I just kept thinking, I'm like, there's something, like, why has he not been picked up? Because I remember looking at some of the, it was some of the, at least the projections of where he was supposed to be at. And I believe one of the projections, and I can pull this up on my notes here. What was the projection that he was supposed to be at? He's supposed to be a 5th round guy. And that's what I figured. I'm like, okay, he's supposed to be a 5th round guy. He's supposed to be mid 5th round. And so I was thinking, I was like, okay, maybe this is the time to kind of pick him up and kind of see where he can what he can do for us here. So we're in the 4th round. So I don't know. I feel like after looking at some of this, I talked myself into it, thinking like, okay, yeah, we got this good pick. But then and then all of a sudden something told me like, okay, maybe I'm reaching. Maybe I'm just thinking too much. So we look at Emmanuel Best. Look at his numbers there, and it's pretty great acceleration, solid agility, solid change of direction. Jumping's good, speed's good, and strength is decent. So, okay, not bad. He's also 95% as well. So we had this was kind of a toss up for us. But I don't know. I mean, at the same time, I was kind of just thinking about that, and of course looking at Manu Francisco from Maine. And then, of course, I say like maybe we should go after another defensive tackle here because one of them we probably won't be able to sign. And then what are the chances we can sign Ed Oliver? Because I was looking at his potential, like his attitude towards the team, and he still wants to be on the team for the most part here. But if we happen to the seasons happen to go sideways, maybe we can bring maybe we can trade him. If we're not doing so well, and then just bring in, have one of these drafted players here coming and just take over and take that position. So with Moreland, I was kind of thinking about going after him for this 32nd pick here in the 4th round. So looking at his numbers there, looks like for the most part there, looks like his combine was better. Could be wrong, but of course, and then of course went back to Emmanuel Best, looking at his numbers, and again, kind of debating here, seeing what we can do. But then I think at the end, I was like, what? Let's just go with Francisco. I feel like there's something with him that we can do with, and not to mention, like I said, we can just kind of beef up that linebacking core. Because I know on the left side, I think we have 2 players only. I kind of want to have 3 in each of those positions there. So we go in with Francisco, and look at this. I'm so glad I kept my gut feeling about him. Change direction needs work on, but everything else looks pretty solid there. He is just going to be a monster for us. I cannot wait to see what that hidden dev is. He looks like he's ready to play there. He is jacked and ready to go. So this should be a lot. I really feel like we made a good pick here. I don't think I imagine he's probably going to be a star dev. So that's going to be very helpful for us. And like I said, it just makes the, midfield or the, middle linebackers there just be more better. Excuse me. Tate Spencer, Spicer there, excuse me. Right tackle for Emporia State, another. He was a pretty middle of the road, pretty solid player. Then another Emporia State guy goes here in the 5th round. This is the 12th pick by the Giants. Paul Reed. We've seen him already, but he gets picked up by the Giants. Like I said, I didn't want to pick too many high-end Scotty players because Like I said, I was almost a little afraid, like, okay, my buddies are making these guys a little too good, and I don't want to, just have a bunch of hot and Scotty players on the team. So, but yeah, pretty solid. I mean, he's, like I said, those guys are pretty solid there, for the most part. I went back and looked to see what their stuff was, and they're pretty solid, but just not what we're looking for right now. So now we got our 5th round pick here. This is the 5th round, 21st pick, I believe. Yes, and here we are. We got a couple players here. Day 3. A lot of we're basically now in day 3 territory here, and now it's pretty much here. I'm kind of looking at just what we can get from some of these players here. We're not looking for too much, but also too, my buddies say there's some hidden gems in there. So they were just giving me hints about certain positions, and of course I had to kind of siphon through all this and everything. And I sit there and think, I kind of want to go back to this defensive tackle situation, because like I said, if we do really horrible and we're not doing so well, Ed Oliver, and especially if Ed is asking for too much money, he will probably get traded right before the deadline, to get him off the books, and so we can have just a little bit more cash for ourselves, and just be able to have some better draft picks going on. Of course, we can use him as capital as well, as good. Whoever decides to pick him up in a trade, we'll get a decent draft pick out of him. So yeah, we went ahead and got, oh yes, Moreland, yes, nice. So how many players is that now? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He makes 6 now. 6 hidden dev players. This is nice. So I like this. This is good. Tim Doyle, there you see a right tackle there for Emporia State. Later on, we see that Boyd Graham, again, another player. I just want to see where some of the high-end Scotty players went off to. Boyd Graham goes to the. He was more of a second string type of player. Could have played first, plays first string for us, but he was more of a second. He's, like I said, he's in this day 3 mess that we have here. So there we go ahead and get to now our own 5th round 32nd pick here. And I was looking at this gentleman right here, Adatis Warford. Great numbers. Looks like he's going to be a good project player for us to kind of work with in that right tackle position. Because like I said, the right tackle that we have right now, he's going to be around for a while. But I kind of, I want somebody that we can kind of, put in, in training, get him ready, kind of doctor him up some, get him in there. And not to mention, I believe we have, I can't remember which side, I think it's the left side. They're both around 72 overall. So we could put this third guy in here, and look at this. This is his, hidden dev. Nice. That's now 7th. That's our 7th hidden dev player that we've got so far here in this draft. So we're drafting really good here. I like this. This one I knew I had just a really good, strong gut. One, because like I said, there was a lot of hidden gems. There's a lot, and there was so many. After I found out where my buddies put these players at, stuff like that, I'm like, wow, like there's a lot of good, decent guys there in day 3. Especially the 5th, 6th rounds here. There you see Connor Campbell, defensive tackle there from the High Scotty series. He was definitely a guy that was around there for a while for us and played very well. But yeah, there you see, he's going to be going for the Panthers there. So nice to see him and getting drafted there. Well deserved. And of course, Gerard Duke. He was a player that was in our High Scotty series as well, from TCU, right in there. So nice job, as he is going to be drafted. So nice there for the Rams, continue building on their defense. That should be a young man that's probably got some good talent there. So we go now to this is, I believe, our 6th round here. Yeah, this is 6th round, our 32nd pick here. And at this point, I'm thinking, I'm like, there's not really anybody here that we can definitely, kind of go after. Excuse me. And really just, yeah, because at this point in the draft, we've already got 7 here, and what are the odds of getting an 8th hidden dev player here this late in there? So Dexter Wetmore, you see him, outside linebacker. At this point here, I just kind of look at his numbers here, and I started thinking, I was like, I don't want to have two. I already got issues now with log jams with corners here. I don't want to need the same thing here to happen with the linebackers here as well. So I kind of need to back off on the linebackers because I think we got some pretty talented guys there that can definitely do some stuff for us here and do a good job of it. So again, we just start going down here, kind of going down the line here, and I had the guys ask, I asked them for some hints here, and they were kind of giving me him and Hama some certain things here. But honestly, guys, in this pick here, I just could not think of anybody that we could just go after because I almost feel like they were, I know we're just kind of, this is the bottom of the barrel here with a lot of these players. But I just feel like no, maybe we just take this pick and just trade it away because we can't find nobody here. There was just nobody that was kind of screaming out to me like, oh hey, we got, we need, you need this player or that player. So we go around here and we're gonna go ahead and just package this trade to another team here and see who needs the pick. And of course I try to. By rule, I try not to try to trade with teams within my division. But, sometimes it happens because, sometimes they give you a decent deal. They give you a deal there that you just can't really deny. So we go ahead and trade with the Dolphins. Now, hopefully that does not come back and bite us in the butt. But, things happen I've had weird things happen to me in games like this. So Paul Richardson is a player there. He's a quarterback. And then Jamal Hood, another wide receiver here for the Highland Scotty series. He was pretty popular towards the end there. He played a lot of games there towards the last, I think it was season 2 or 3 when he was, 3. It was season 3. He was really, he did a great job for us there. He was really great backup coming off the bench and really just great talent, great speed, and also a great spectacular catch as well. So I'm hoping how we recreate them here, at least in Madden. And then, of course, the final pick here in the 7th round, we still have a 7th round pick here, and this was, of course, another pick that I was thinking about leaving, or at least giving up as well. But then one of my friends told me, he's like, there are some decent linebackers, or not linebackers, excuse me, decent linemen here that are still available. And I kind of like, okay, give me a hint, what side of the line. And they said, it'll be a tackle of sorts. So I kind of looked through the tackles here, and I was kind of looking around here, and I was like, okay, maybe, this Phil Dempsey guy, look at his tackles there. So we decided to go ahead and draft him. And we're going to see what we're going to get out of him. And we're going to get a normal dev from him. So, okay, maybe not the best, but definitely a guy that we probably can work with. I would imagine he's probably a mid to, I would probably say mid-60s. Look here at the draft recap here really quick. There you see Fleming, 72 overall, so not bad. So we got a lot of 70s, 75, 65. Denmark, 65. Okay, wow. And then O'Neal 67, 65, Dempsey 63. Both those guys are there, so nice. So like I said, those are players that we can definitely work with and help, especially Dempsey. He's not gonna get no time on the field, but we can definitely get him trained and get him ready. And of course, we can move him over to the right hand side because, like I said, the right hand side. I think it's the left hand side. Left hand side is kind of rotating door. So maybe, the position he did was drafted with, maybe that is going to be available for us now as I think about it. I thought it was a left or right hand side, but it's actually a left hand side. So Deshaun Robinson, there you see his numbers there. Looks pretty good, 74 there. for him as well. And then, of course, Calvin Parker. And, of course, later on we got Hunter Cannon as well. I feel like those are two guys that we could that can be kind of universal. That we can use them in the tight end position, but we can also use them in the fullback position. Because I usually do that. For the most part, I kind of do that. Just kind of get my tight ends, work on their blocking and all that kind of stuff. And especially with Hunter Cannon is actually a pretty good run blocker. He's kind of known for that. Him and his brothers are kind of known for that. So that's why I kind of put him in that position there. His run blocking is not that great here in this one. Unfortunately, that's one thing we did not copy. So maybe that's something we can work on. But overall, I mean, he's a great tight end. I guess especially got the height for it and whatnot. And I cannot wait to see what he can do there. He's actually, I think if I remember correctly, I think we went ahead and moved him over to the tight end position, or the fullback position. And he actually goes up 6 points. He's a 70 overall now, but he goes to a 76 once we move over to the fullback position there. So that's going to be nice. Then, of course, you see some of the draft picks that we've made as well. Francisco, I'm really happy with that one there. Jalen Moore is even better. I like that. He's a hidden dad, 63 overall. Like I said, none of this is scientific at all. It's all by just dumb luck and chance. And of course, some of these guys are going to be impact the team pretty quickly. They're going to be starting right off the bat, and then some others are just going to have to take some time. Maybe have to sit out for the first half of the season, and then and like I said, I'm going to try to integrate them as much as we possibly can. Especially the offensive linemen, integrate them into getting their snaps, especially if they're a hidden dev type of player. Try to get some extra snaps in there and kind of integrate them into the offense as best as we can. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna try our best to get these guys on the field here as often as we can this season. Because like I said, I feel like our offense is pretty solid. It's just the defensive side of things. It's just what I'm kind of really concerned and worried about. So we just gotta hopefully these guys will step up. But as we take a look here, we're kind of looking around at some other players around the league. And Terrence Blair, there you see 82 overall, normal dev, no hidden dev there. Wow, my guys who were helping create this were kind of brutal. Dang. Thought at least giving him at least a superstar. But yeah, there you see 99 speed, 99 acceleration. So I mean, he's got great speed, great acceleration, great catch. But I guess he's going to have to prove otherwise here. He's got to show, and he was the highest, I believe he was the highest overall in this draft class here. So no love there from him. I guess they see him as just kind of a guy that's going to have to work his way up. Now this gun I know for sure. I don't know what I forgot what his hidden dev is. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I knew he was going to be a hidden dev. And 82 overall, elusive back there. Like I said, he's going to be he's going to be awesome. Look at that speed, 89 speed, 99 acceleration. There you see carry, ball vision's great, breaking tackles is great. I mean, he's just overall just a great player there, and he is definitely going to be a huge asset there for the Lions coming up in this season. Now, as far as I know, I don't think we play the Lions here, but I cannot wait to see his name pop up quite often, and stuff like that. Especially like they talk about the halftime scores like that. I'm hoping to see him have multiple touchdowns here, because he's going to be somebody that's going to be really just turning this ball club on their heads and just really shocking the NFC North there. Terry Wolf is another player that I'm actually pretty excited about. Like I said, this was a computer-generated player that the computer, doctored up and made up here. And he's from Kansas. So, if you know about Kansas, they had some pretty good year in real life and whatnot. But apparently, they had an even better year here at least in this world of football. Look at his numbers there. I mean, he's just a great quarterback there. Throw power, deep accuracy is top notch. And then he's deep and mid range. Look at him, just 82, 81, and 80. I mean, this kid can throw a freaking football. Oh, he's gonna be a beast there. I cannot wait to see how Seattle. Hopefully, they can build something around here with him because I think he's gonna be something. He's gonna be awesome. I just cannot wait. Of course, I say that now, and then once we have to play them in the playoffs, it's gonna be like, oh shit. Oh, what? Whoa, damn it, computer! What was you thinking? Nate Mann, another player here that the Miami picked up. So we got there's a defensive tackle that we're gonna have to worry about coming up this season. We actually played Miami early on. I believe we played Miami in weeks 3, and I think we play them again in weeks 5. So we play them. We get those first two, those divisional games with them up and early and quick this season. So we'll see Nate Mann on very on. Same thing with Gerard Blanco, corner. I am not looking too, not going to be looking too far fun and too, this is not going to be a fun deal. I have to deal with him in the passing game here. So hopefully he'll let up some. Hopefully he's not as good as he's man to man. He looks pretty solid. 80, he got great speed, great acceleration. Play rec, yeah, he can't really do too much play recognition there, but for the most part, all the attributes that actually matter, he's actually pretty damn good in. So, nice job there. But like I said, I'm not looking forward to throwing his way there. I'm sure there could be a very interesting matchup between him and probably either Gilbert or I would probably say Diggs in some way. Caleb Strong, or Stroud there for Texas A&M, another hidden dev there for them. So nice. They got 3 hidden dev players here. Ooh, Miami's gonna be brutal. Not to mention with having the wide receiver core they have, this is gonna be something. These divisional games are gonna actually really mean something now. I think Miami's gonna really. Miami's almost. I mean, in some ways, I hate to say this, and I hope it's not true or not going to be the case, but Miami's almost becoming like the New England of the South. So far in this series, they've put together a great core of players here, and it looks like it's just going to be. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun playing against them. Of course, our other rival in this division as well as New York Jets. They got a great free safety there for them. Hidden dev there, 73 overall. He's a run supporter there. So it looks like his zone's not the greatest, but it's not far from where he's at right there. So I think with training him and getting him better here, oh boy, look out. He is definitely going to be somebody that we're going to have to definitely not worry about throwing the long ball there, because if we do, he'll definitely probably get us pretty good there. Now, he's not great at man-to-man, but acceleration and speed's there, so he can keep up with the player. Play rate is not there, but he's got good tackling and great pursuit as well. But yeah, still throwing his way. If he can keep up with the player man-to-man, I mean, he's got a pretty good shot at making some great defensive stops. Barner is another player there, right guard. He's a hidden dev as well, so nice. So that's 2 already now for the Jets. As you take a look at his numbers, so pretty much. I mean, a lot of the teams, especially like I said, Miami, made some pretty good picks there, just like we did. So I'm really looking for this AFC, this AFC East to be a fun division to be in, because Brady's not longer here. Josh is pretty much the guy in this division, unless there's another quarterback that happens to step up to him in this division here. There you see another one rushing, right end, hidden dev there. It's pretty much our division. If we and we have to take it. If we it's our division, it's only ours to lose. And but I think at the same time here, it's gonna be a struggle. It's gonna be a battle to try to maintain and try to make another run here for the playoff. Try to get into the playoffs here, because we got teams like these Jets here that just made some pretty good picks here, and it kind of makes me a little nervous here. I mean, it's gonna be a challenge here. I don't think it's gonna be a walk in the park by any means. But there you see another just some good numbers there, pretty decent numbers there for this rookie coming into the league there, and of course try to help the Jets there, try to put a roadblock up for us from getting to the NFC championship game. And of course, I believe we'll see the Chiefs here pretty soon here as well. They had some pretty good. They had a nice pickup as well in the draft. But another player here, Von Clinton from Virginia Tech, 6'1", 203 pounds. He's a corner, and there you see he's also a hidden depth as well. So, and of course, 500 downs they got to play, and then that's what the hidden depth will be unlocked. And I imagine he'll probably be, I would say 65 overall right now. I imagine he's probably somewhere sitting on that line between star and superstar dev, depending on how well he breaks out. Especially these first 500 downs. We'll see how well he plays, and I feel like he might be somewhere in there. I would probably say he's probably gonna be a superstar dev when he comes out, when those are finally unlocked. But we'll see. But yeah, this was a good draft. Seems like for our or at least for our division here, they made some pretty good some players came out of this. Denzel Carlson, there you see, we've seen him earlier, wide receiver there for Oklahoma, 6'6", so he's a big boy there. 50-50 balls definitely in his, a lot of 50-50 balls in his future there. For 91 speed, 91 acceleration, and I'm sure that's just going to only get better as time goes on. 74 overall, and of course, New England's not New England like it used to be. But this is definitely a person that they can definitely build around him to get him back to that range at some point here. Maybe not this season, but maybe somewhere down the line here, about 2 or 3 seasons from now. Green is another player there, left tackle. He's also hidden dead as well. He's from LSU. So nice there. Strength, pretty good, great strength there. Lead blocking. Of course, there you see his other attributes as well. So not a bad fit there. 75 overall with it, so that's pretty good. I mean, he's definitely going to be. I would imagine he's probably going to be a superstar. So they got a good offensive lineman there on their hands. That's going to definitely protect. Daniel there at the quarterback position. Kenyon Rudolph, the defensive tackle there from Oregon. And there you see 6'1", 355 pounds. And looks like he's a run stopper. He got a +2 or +1 there temporarily. But there you see his strength and his tackling. And, of course, areas he needs to work on is, of course, play rec and also block shedding. But, again, good player there, and he'll probably definitely be on the field out there for them to make some good defensive plays and good defensive stops. Lance Harris, their tight end. There you see it. There's another one of those great tight ends that were out there. Like I said, there was a slew of them. But there you see here, hit Lance Harris, 6'6". There you see his attributes as well. So pretty talented players out there. Like I said, there's a lot of talented tight ends out there in this draft class. I was pretty amazed by what they had out there for tight end. And that's why I said, I was really kind of the one tight end I knew I wanted that I wanted the most was Hunter Cannon. But I was like, oh my goodness, like this is not gonna be. We're not gonna get Hunter Cannon because he'll be off the table. So that's why I had to go ahead and take him. Like I did. I could have took him earlier, but I was almost thinking, I was like, oh boy, that might be too much of a reach there. But I'm glad we got him there. And he landed pretty much almost where, maybe 2 or 3 picks ahead where he's projected at. But yeah, we did a pretty good job getting him there. And that's why I just want to make sure we got him on the team. And then you see Sheldon Belton. There you see his numbers there. Rookie. He's also got a hidden dev as well. 68 overall there for the Patriots, as the Patriots did great job there. So as we take a look here, wrapping up, getting close to wrapping up this video. But do you see what the team looks like right now? Josh Allen, of course, our quarterback, 27 years of age. And of course, our franchise quarterback. Hopefully, we'll be able to re-sign him here very soon. And of course, we have Cook, Moss, and Perry there. And then, of course, Hunter Cannon, we moved him to a fullback. Like I said, he's now 60 or 76 overall. Wow. That was helpful for us. Thank you so much. Because I tried to go and look, see if there was some. I knew Nick from the Heinz Scotties, who's a free, what do you call it? Fullback, but he was gone. They already had him signed up. So I knew because he had pretty decent numbers there. And then Phil Dempsey, like I said, he'll get some time there in that left tackle position. And then, of course, like I said, we got, for the most part here, like I said, our offensive line has not changed too much with the exception of some of the newer players here. But pretty much everybody that we had here last year either got re-signed or still has another year or two left on their contract. So I feel like our offensive line is going to be pretty solid. I'm not too worried about that. Denmark, and of course those guys, like I said, we could rotate those three around, and that's what I got planned on doing for the start of the season here. We are going to change some substitutions there and kind of rotate those guys in and out of certain formations. Von Miller, of course, there, left right in there, nice job. He'll be there as the anchor there on the defensive side there. Ed Oliver, of course, Robinson right there. So they'll play the interior there. And then, of course, Settle. And then Jalen Moreland. Moreland will probably come in as well. We'll have him in certain formations as well. So, like I said, we get a chance to work on his chance of getting on the field as well. He probably won't be on the field too much, but he'll probably be in a couple of formations there for the most part. And then, of course, our linebackers there. Like I said, I feel really good with our linebackers that we have. Pretty solid. And then corners here. Like I said, we got abundance of corners here. We don't have too many players here, so we probably won't have too many players on the practice squad because a lot of these guys were from the practice squad last year. And I'm like, I don't want to have nobody stolen from us from this practice field. And so for the most part, so a lot of these guys will probably be on the field because I think we might be right at or somewhere near our minimum for the team, the 53 that we have on the team. But yeah, that's pretty much what the team looks like. Of course, I decided to add some new faces here. So we added Andy Dalton. He's going to come in as a player here to help us out in the quarterback position there. He'll be the backup for us. And of course, Dalton, he's had a good career there in the NFL. So we went ahead and signed him. And then we decided also we need a third string guy, and why not get a veteran like Nick Foles, 11 years in the league, and of course he's had his days there in Philly and so many other places here, and of course he's just a good fit there. He's got the years experience there. He knows what to do in certain situations there. But yeah, he's definitely there, going to be helping us out there, and of course, we won't see him too much on the field, but for the most part, you're just there because the veteran presence he can give to, and just knowledge that he can give to our QB. As we wrap this up here, I'm getting a little drowsy here. It's getting a little late as I'm recording this video, but you'd see there our preseason. All three games are at home, so that's gonna be nice. We start the season off at home Thursday night game against the Chiefs. Then we have a Monday night game against the Panthers, and then you see week 3 we have the Dolphins. And then we play the Jets, play the Cowboys in week 5, and then in week 6 is the next Dolphins game. So after that, we'll be done with the Dolphins for the season. And then in week 7 we have a bye week, which is going to be very nice because that right there, that's the first 6 weeks of the season. Especially against two games we have against the Dolphins in those first 5 weeks. And then there you see the rest of the roster. Of course, we got to play the Commanders, so we got to play Micah Hyde later on. as well as you see some of the, we got to play the Chargers. We have to go the last 4 games of the season. We're on the road. We got to go to the Chargers. We got to go to the Bengals. Got to go to the Patriots, and we got to go to the Broncos. And that one right there, I told you earlier, that's one I'm not looking forward to at all, because we got to play against Sheldon Sherman. And this, by now, then at that time of the season, he should be like has his hidden dev unlocked, if I can speak, and be primed and be ready to really do some damage against quarterbacks if he has not already. So, and like I said, we got Commanders game as well. There we'll see Micah Hyde, and of course then we got some other players and other matchups here as well. And of course Carolina, they got some good rookies as well. We've seen them being drafted, so a lot of storylines going on here. Just going into this, going to the preseason here. I have the preseason games coming up here the next day or so, and of course it'll just be just raw footage of it, of the gameplay. Just you guys wish me watching. I'm not gonna live stream it. I'm not gonna voice over or anything like that. But we'll have an episode after the last preseason game. We'll have a first look at the first game of the season, which is against the Kansas City Chiefs. So that'll be the first new episode of the Bills Mafia sit down, and we'll have that'll be the start of season 2. And then we'll get right into the first game of the week. We'll be at home. It's a Thursday night game against the Kansas City Chiefs. And those games there I don't look forward to, because they're always brutal. They're always tough. But it's a challenge that it's going to happen. There's nothing I can do about it. Especially when I have to play against the Chiefs here. It's just they're just something. So we beat them last year. It was a close game, if I remember correctly. So this time, but we're at home this time around. So we're at home here at Highmark Stadium. So we're at it's gonna be nice. We got the Bills Mafia out there supporting us and cheering us on. So a lot of content coming up here for this season 2. And like I said, I do apologize. I've been on vacation for a while now, and I just kind of want to just relax and kind of get away from doing stuff. But I'm glad I finally got this done and got this edited and everything. Of course, I had to do some other stuff for other content-wise as well. But we'll get season 2 kicked off here very, very soon. But first, we got the preseason games, and they'll all be separate videos, and they'll all be up in about a day apart from each other. So, again, thank you guys so much for tuning in here to the draft and the final off season here for season 1. We'll get into season 2, like I said, preseason with the Carolina Panthers coming up very, very soon here on the channel. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. The links are down below in the description. And of course, check us out over on our second channel here on YouTube over at ESGNet Plus LP. And of course, we do live stream occasionally over on Twitch. It is twitch.tv/ESGNet. As always, keep yourselves healthy, and I will see you all next time.